Hello everybody and welcome back to G for G, Games for Gamers. I am your host, Napalm Dolan, and today we're here in Marvel Heroes, and we're going to take a look at one of their newest quote-unquote heroes who's actually a villain, but he also has turned hero, and that is the Juggernaut. So here's mine over here, and you can see that higher level Juggernauts get to be pretty big. I kind of look like a puny little shrimp when it is compared to these other guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at his abilities, and I have Holiday Groot as my team up over here, so this is really just a lot of melee tanking. You have the Mystical Powerhouse Tree, which is a lot of more straightforward punching. It's a lot of direct damage. You have headbutts. Not too much, not a whole lot of movement abilities here, although there is one. It's mostly toe-to-toe abilities over here. You have the standard left click, which is rope-a-dope, and its replacement left click comes really far down the tree, which I find a little odd. You have the lariat, which is currently my right click. That's one of his movement abilities. Heavy punch, which looks a lot like his normal, the normal left click, the rope-a-dope. It is a little bit hard to know that you've done this in combat, with the exception of that your momentum has gone down a little bit. Enter the Fray is similar in name to Rogue's ability in Marvel Avengers Alliance, except over here it launches him up in the air and he just comes down at a big Hulk smash. You have Big Headbutt, which surprisingly causes bleeding, and I think that should really be more classified as an internal bleeding, because that, his helmet is, of course, very smooth. I didn't really notice that. It looks like Loki's helmet in there. It's very interesting. You have Round of Applause, which is probably a big sonic clap, similar to what the Hulk does in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Unstoppable. You have Earthquake, which is one of the biggest momentum users. This is definitely your momentum dump. It's huge. Can't Be Stopped, which is a cooldown passive. Big Elbow Drop. Stride. Sunday Punch, Unstoppable Charge, Devastating Charge, and the Avatar of Sidorak tree is very similar to Moon Knight's tree over here with the Avatar of Khonshu and everything. You have the Crimson Force Field, the Human Juggernaut, which is a toggle. Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Gonna hit you with your own pimp. Lean into it. Wrath of Sidorak, and the Scion of Sidorak. I do believe I can actually dump that in here, and I'm going to toggle it on. And as you can see, as I move over here, the blue bar goes up, and that is my momentum meter. That is very similar to kind of like Rage on a warrior. It's not mana where it starts off at full and goes down. You actually build it up. Similar to the speed, well, not the speed, but the thing that you build up in TF2 when you use the soda popper. As you can see, as I run around over here, I build it up, and then it caps. And if I stop, the decay begins. It's a pretty steady rate. It takes a small jump at first and then starts going down. Now if I use the Lariat, which is a movement ability, you'll see that I gain a boost. And this is one of the few characters where you can get around on levels simply by spamming a movement ability, because it never actually takes away from something you have. It increases it. So that's pretty nice for getting around. As you can see here, he moves pretty quickly for a big guy. Let's go ahead and get him in some combat, and we can see how he operates.
I I'll be the one punishing things from now on.
What is kind of slightly shitty is the fact that when you zone, you completely dump your momentum. And you can see here when I stop to talk to people and everything, I mean, once I stop, it starts going down, so... That was the shockwave, which has no cooldown, but it is the heaviest usage of momentum. What I like to do right after I do the shockwave is I immediately go into a lariat to give me a nice little boost. Now when you use heavy punch, it's sort of hard to see. Now headbutt, you can definitely get a good idea of when you've done the headbutt, but surprisingly it has a cooldown. We're gonna have to watch this videotape. This is fun. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right, I have to take it back. So let's go ahead and take this back and watch this video. It is fun. As you can see, I can just get around by spamming lariat. And it's just sitting here building up my resources, and it's a pretty good way of getting around.
Do you crave the excitement of international criminal intrigue but lack the skills to make that dream come true? Do the voices inside your head tell you that you were meant for something more? Do you sit there day after day seething with the need for revenge but don't know how to get it? Then the Taskmaster Institute is for you. Here at the Institute, we
He looks like Bob the Hydra Goon.
You will learn 7 different styles of martial arts. And many forms of advanced weaponry. If you're smart enough to find me, you're smart enough to learn the lessons I can teach you. The Taskmaster Institute, when you positively, absolutely know you were meant for something more.
Steve Blum, one of my favorite voice actors. You know, I find it funny, there's been so many villains in this that have now become heroes. I think it would be great if a Hero Venom joined us for this fight.
Out of my way! I got stuff to do.
So I'm going to use my H, which is my human Juggernaut. So as you can see here, in the thick of battle, a lot of your abilities, aside from the shockwave and the headbutt, they're just kind of hard to notice that you've done them.
Sure, I'll take credit for that.
Better check your Richter scale. I'm gonna break down the house!
Juggernaut's voice actor is pretty cool. Certainly adds a level of meanness to him. Critical hit, a rank of heavy punch, or big elbow drop. I think I will stick with the one that I have equipped. Ooh. Slightly more defense, way more critical hit. 2 ranks to can't be stopped. I think I will go with that one. And I'm just dumping a lot of my old ones because I've put so many into my vendors now. They're in pretty good shape. So I don't need to trash. Well, I do need to kind of just trash his gear because just don't use it as much, and I don't have really anybody to turn it into anymore. He doesn't really do that many area of attacks. When you drop below 50% health, gain plus 14 damage rating. And, ooh, that one's actually pretty cool, but I like my Black Cat medal because of the fact that it works with movement abilities. So let's compare boots, crappy white boots. And let's look at the belt. More defense, really nice health regeneration, dodge rating, big headbutt. Grants enter the fray. So I'd be losing health and momentum, and I'd be gaining some damage. I think I will go ahead and grab the new belt for that health regen. That is always very handy. In this one, round of applause. That's a nice skip ahead there. Pretty big boost to health. Actually, I think I will go with this one. That's one of the things that I like about Marvel Heroes. I feel that they are fairly kind to you, even early on, with decent gear. I mean, the fact that you could be under level 10 and find cosmic items, find purple items, find blue items, I think is just a lot of fun. I'm going to bump up the big headbutt over there. Can't be stopped is already pretty nice. And just bump up the standard punch. See, now when you're in fairly isolated combat, it's kind of easy to see what he's doing.
I am Groot.
So let's see if we can't use one of these smaller instance areas.
I am Groot.
So there's a bunch of his standard punches. And there's the uppercut. And of course the earthquake, which is very, very easy to see. And you can see now the momentum's going really fast.
Yeah! I'll stomp all over anything I damn well please.
So he's definitely a lot of fun. He's very unique. And, you know, for a big guy, he moves pretty fluidly. And he's a lot of fun to play. And the fact that you have a build-up resource instead of a drain resource is pretty cool. And I think it's very easy to get it built up. The fact that just simply running around gives you the resource is pretty cool. The fact that his movement ability gives you the resource is also pretty cool. Because by just simply going from place to place, you're keeping your combat resource high. And it is also somewhat unique in the fact that you can use these things without momentum, they're just going to do a little bit less. And I think that's pretty cool that you can be low on your resource or not have it, and still even use abilities. I'm going to go fight this little Slimer over here because he drops a whole bunch of stuff when you do it. But he seems to... There he is. So it looks like we got a nice drop package from this guy. Hopefully we can get things to calm down a little bit here, pick up some stuff. I could be wrong, but I feel like his stun durations are a little bit quicker than others, and of course I think that makes sense, especially if he's been in motion. I think that if he's in motion, they should make it so that it's actually very, very tough to control him. So let's see, will I use these, cause a bleed? Ooh. I think that would be pretty neat when I turn level 10, causing a bleed and 10 extra damage, so I think I'll hold on to that. And a purple helmet. I think I'll hold on to that too. Should have stayed in grad school, it's funny. So this will about wrap it up for the night. Get a pretty good look at a low-level Juggernaut over here. It's really good for getting around, because you can just keep spamming his movement ability that never runs out. And you know, for a big bruiser tanky type, he actually is pretty fluid in combat, and he moves around rather nicely. And could definitely be fun to play him at later rounds when he gets much stronger in his later levels and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video of Juggernaut here on G for G, Games for Gamers. Sadly, you can't rotate the camera or anything, so we'll have to say goodnight to Holiday Groot in the background of Juggernaut from this weird little side angle over here. Take care, everybody.